we're going to need a lot more memory.
And at least 5 more workstations, maybe 10.
Boy, I never dreamed we'd outgrow our system so soon.
None of us did. But if we don't upgrade now, we're going to have to start turning away business.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, what are our options?
We just don't have any. We've invested too much to switch over to a whole new system now. We'll just have to go back to the vendor and pay whatever price they name.
We just don't have the budget for that. There's got to be a better way.
With our expansion last year into Wang and this year HP and Microdata, we're going to be bringing in a lot of new salespeople. And these guys are going to be asking us a lot of questions. What I want us to do is remember what it was like the first time we picked up that phone. In other words, what are some of the things these guys are going to be hearing? What reason would anyone have for not doing business with CRC?
Well, there is no reason not to do business with CRC.
Maybe not, but some people think it's risky.
Well, some people think that all used computer equipment's unreliable.
Or outdated.
Yeah, but we know that's not true.
In fact, if electronic equipment is going to fail, it's going to fail in the first part of its lifetime. If it's been properly remanufactured, used can be better than new.
Well, a classic example of that's what happened to Rick Insurance.
Exactly.
They bought 3 disk drives, 2 remanufactured drives and 1 brand new drive. We ship the drives out, and a week later we get a phone call.
Yeah, I was here that night. You put our drives up, no problem. Put the new drive up, crash. Poor guy calls me at 9:30 at night, just going nuts.
What we've done with the remanufacturing process is completely eliminate the risk associated with buying used.
Oh, and a customer base proves it.
That's right, because you guys have done business with companies like Rockwell and General Electric.
Contel and Fruhall.
Lockheed,
PRW.
Whirlpool.
McDonnell Douglas.
McDonnell Douglas. Those big companies, risk management's a key issue. They've got trained buyers out there looking for the best values in the marketplace.
Well, nobody has tougher standards than the government, and we just supplied over $1 million worth of equipment to the U.S. Navy.
You know, doing business with the government and the corporate giants is great, but let's not forget about the smaller user. They're just as important.
Well, I talk to 600 users every month, and I'd say 70% of them are small to medium-sized businesses.
Same here. We can help them whether they're adding 1 disk drive or upgrading their entire system.
Those first-time customers think that used computer equipment's going to look like it's been sitting in a warehouse the past 10 years. You know, all beat up, dusty, covered with cobwebs.
Well, some of it has. You've got to know what you're buying.
That's why one of us goes out to every site to see whether that equipment's been properly maintained and to see whether it's able to be remanufactured.
Well, that's another thing our new salespeople should be emphasizing. Most remarketing companies don't even have engineers. CRC has a whole staff.
And we all got our training with the vendors. That's important.
And we're more flexible than vendor engineers. The customer calls us, tells us what they need, and we build it. Like when Ohio Fabricators needed 2 systems in one cabinet.
And Honeywell said it couldn't be done, but we did it.
And then Honeywell accepted it for maintenance.
It's that engineering support that gives CRC the edge. We have the best remanufactured equipment on the marketplace, period.
And by the time it goes out, it looks like new.
Brand new. I had a customer in Los Angeles. When the field engineer came to install the equipment, he said, "I thought you were going to buy a used drive." My customer said, "It is used. I got it from CRC."
Well, you remember that first time we sent that equipment up to Canada?
Yeah, Customs held it up for 3 days. They thought we were trying to smuggle new computer equipment into the country.
And I had a fly up there with all kinds of documentation just to prove the equipment was used.
The bottom line is this. Remanufactured equipment from CRC is every bit as good as new.
For about half the price.
Well, I think most users know what a great value remanufactured equipment is. What scares them off is the horror stories they've heard about third-party suppliers.
Well, let's face it, dealing with some of those brokers is a real nightmare.
Good evening, madam. Al Headache here. Welcome to Al's Used Computer Boutique. Have I got a deal for you? Yes, Al's Used Computer Boutique offers a full line of quality used equipment for the discerning data processor. Consider, if you will, the amazing amalgam of automated apparatus around you. A veritable inventorial extravaganza. Wise choice, madam. This particular piece has been thoroughly tested and is 100% guaranteed. If it doesn't work, I guarantee I won't be in when you call to complain. But seriously, madam, just look around you. Whatever you need, I've got it. If I haven't got it, I know where to get it. If I don't know where to get it, I can find it. And if I can't find it, I'll bill you for it anyway. Oh, what a card, what a card. Hey, wait.
If there's one important point that a new salesperson should make, that's it.
That's right. We're not a broker. We're a remanufacturer.
Well, absolutely. If the vendor's here and the broker's here, CRC is right here in the middle. They get the best of both worlds, quality and savings.
The thing about brokers is anybody can install a phone and get some stationery. But what happens when something goes wrong? What do they do? Remember the G installation in Schenectady?
How can I forget that one?
We sold them 2 DataNet systems. The first one went up with no problem. When we got to the second one, there were all kinds of problems.
Problems, by the way, that the vendor said were mostly hardware related and ended up being mostly software related.
I remember you had to fly up there on a Monday morning to straighten everything out. It was a huge mess for everyone.
The point's this. I ended up writing a check for $32,000 just to live up to the promise of our guarantee.
And that's what separates CRC from the typical remarketer. We don't disappear after the sale, and if something goes wrong, we make it right.
Right, because we've made a commitment to build a long-term relationship with our customers, and you can't put a price tag on that.
But our competitors just don't have the resources to back up that kind of commitment.
Even if they wanted to.
Well, how could they? We buy more computer equipment in a year than all our competitors combined sell in a year. I don't even know how these brokers stay in business.
Neither do I. I don't pay 65 employees and a whole entire engineering staff every month just for the hell of it. I do it because that marketplace demands a high level of service. Now, how could anyone expect to stay in business and ignore those demands?
Well, they can't, and that's why we keep doubling our sales year after year, while these other guys, they just come and go. It's simple. We give the customer what he wants.
Hi again, Al Headache here for Al's Used Computer Boutique. Tell me, tell me, are you the kind of person who can't be fooled by cheap, shoddy imitations? Then why'd you buy those shoes? But seriously, folks, this week at Al's, we're running an incredible special. Order any one piece of equipment at full price. And as a bonus, we'll actually send it to you. And if you've ever done business with us before, you know how incredible an offer this really is. Oops, gotta go. Got another customer on the phone.
How about upsetting the vendor? We hear that a lot.
You know, that's a big concern. Some companies are afraid of dealing with a third party. They're afraid it's going to mess up their relationship with their vendor.
Yeah, especially the smaller user. He's afraid if he simply does business with us, the vendor's going to neglect him.
You know, that's crazy. Every time we sell a piece of equipment, we guarantee it's going to go up under that user's maintenance contract. So as far as I'm concerned, that's just like putting money in that vendor's pocket. So why would anybody want to jeopardize that kind of income by not supporting their own equipment?
I don't think they would. In fact, none of our customers have ever had a problem like that. It's pure bluff.
Well, it's a scare tactic. The vendor salesman will tell the customer, CRC's equipment is no good. It's going to mess up your whole system.
He forgets to tell them how much equipment they buy from us each year, though.
Yeah, that's right. We sold over $250,000 worth of equipment back to the vendor last year.
And their salesmen are out there telling customers we're not good enough.
That's a good
Can you believe it?
Well, let's face it. The vendors hate us.
Well, of course the vendors hate CRC. All your competitors hate CRC. I hate CRC. I mean, you sell top quality equipment at reasonable prices. What kind of way is that to run a business? I guess you know you're ruining it for the rest of us. The next thing you know, customers will be expecting support after the sale. Give me a break.
Another thing a new salesman doesn't always understand is why it's so important to get a commitment right away.
You know, what's there to understand? The whole remarketing industry is predicated on the availability of equipment, so timing is going to be everything.
Well, in the remarketing business, a maybe is the same as a no. If a customer doesn't claim a piece of equipment today, it's probably not going to be around tomorrow.
That's simple. We're not a manufacturer. If the equipment's not available, it's not available.
The problem is, though, it sounds like a sales pitch.
Yeah, you go to any used car dealer and he's going to tell you, hey, you better move on this one, it's not going to last.
Sure, if you don't understand our business, it sounds like a line. But it's the plain truth. We have more buyers than product.
It's the law of supply and demand in its purest form.
Exactly.
You know, when it comes right down to it, there's only two reasons why a customer wouldn't do business with CRC. Either he doesn't understand us, or he doesn't believe us, and that's it.
And that's one of the disadvantages of the telemarketing business. A customer is getting calls from every remarketer in the country, and they all sound the same. How does he know who to believe?
Well, he doesn't. He's got to investigate.
It's his job to investigate.
Well, that's what risk management's all about. Hedging your bets and going with the favorite.
And CRC is the favorite, because there's two kinds of risk. One's going to be risking too much money on a piece of new equipment when remanufactured equipment would do just as well. The other one is risking a lot of downtime and a lot of aggravation by doing business with a broker who's got no engineering support whatsoever.
Yeah, I had a customer in Chicago. He didn't believe anybody.
Well, I don't blame him. Like Michael said, we all sound the same over the phone.
Right, so he just jumped on a plane and started checking brokers out throughout the country. When he got to CRC, took one look at our facilities, he said, let's do some business.
I wish all our customers would do that. Just check us out.
Yeah, this guy could have saved a few bucks by going through a broker.
Yeah, but he was looking for the best value, not just the lowest price. He recognized CRC as a value-added company.
60% of our business comes from repeat customers. All we're asking a new customer to do is give CRC a shot.
Just let us perform for you one time.
And once they compare us to any other computer supplier out there, vendor or remarketer, they're going to come to the same conclusion. If you haven't been doing business with CRC, then you haven't been getting the best value for your dollar, and that's a problem. The solution is simple. Pick up a phone and call CRC. Workstations. Lock on targets.
Lock on targets.
Targets locked on.
Targets on screen.
Targets on screen.
Targets on screen.
Prepare for liftoff. Liftoff.
Where'd everybody go?
Is it over?
I guess so.
Bye-bye.